the fuck? Just we are back in the room with the writers Monday, and a couple new writers. I don't know if I mentioned new writers before. Two new writers, whom maybe what I'll do is I'll do one next week from the writers' room and let the writers sort of introduce themselves. You can tell I've been riding a bike. Bike hair. Not much else to report. We'll start breaking major seasonal arcs, and for the next week or two, and then hop into the premiere. It's been about a month, about 3 weeks, kind of diving into the general stories before we actually start digging into specific episodes, and I'll kind of lay out my blueprint for the season, big mile markers, things that I know I want to happen, and people I know I want to die. On the show. Wouldn't that be great if I could just go into the writers and have them literally script the demise of all the people I currently wish dead. And I'm happy to say, with the grace of God, that's a smaller list than it was perhaps even a year ago. And then we begin production in May, end of May, last week of May, back end of May, right before June. I don't know how else to say it. I don't have an exact date. And we'll do 13. I've inquired about potentially doing more episodes within the final season, but it sort of becomes, there's so many factors that go into determining the costs per episode, and part of those costs are licensing fees, and the last season the licensing fees continue to get more expensive, so it just doesn't become very cost effective to do additional episodes, and I think also creatively, I feel like, let's face it, last season pretty much every episode was at least 90 minutes, and so you basically got another 3 or 4 episodes out of me anyhow, so it'll probably be similar to that this season, although I'm really going to do my best to get it down to 60 minutes. I will try. Cast-wise, nobody that you don't know about. Here's a good thing about this season. I think there'll be an opportunity to use quite a few people of color. for a show about a bunch of all-white bikers. That's, for me anyhow. I like when I have the opportunity to do that. I have a couple new directors, hopefully this season as well. Um, some from within, and Mike Gardner. What else? I'm working on a rewrite for a movie, which I can't really talk about. They have to make the announcement. It's not up to me. I'll do that sort of simultaneously as I start the season, and then once I start writing the show, that's sort of all I do. But the next month or so, I'll be able to work on that as well. What else? What's going on with Katie? Just trying to think if she's got anything coming up, any gigs. We're doing something. That just about covers sometimes my participation in my family. They're doing something. They're somewhere. She's got something coming up soon. I forget what. She's playing or gigging. I think some of the guys are going to be there. I think it's a big deal. Maybe is that the one in Australia? I don't know. She's getting on a plane going somewhere. That's all I got. You should buy her CD on iTunes called Covered. It's great. It's all covers. Produced by Bob Thiel, who is our music supervisor and composer, and our what else? Our Songs of Anarchy Volume 3, which is on iTunes, which has the Day Is Gone, which was the final song in the finale, is on that final volume. In terms of music, a couple things. I think I found the opening song, the montage for the opening song for the premiere episode, the ending song of the premiere. I know that sounds like I'm putting the cart before the horse, but kind of know what goes on in that last act of the premiere, and I think I found a great song we're going to do a cover of, which I think will be very satisfying, and I don't want to give hints because it's a pretty epic song. I'm actually working, I don't know if I'm working, I don't think I can, I guess I can say that. I'm collaborating, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, with Marilyn Manson on some music with, there's a song I wrote, I did the lyrics for, that I gave to Shooter Jennings, who's a buddy of mine and a great musician, and that I thought I'd use on season 6 of the show, and Shooter did the music for it. It was cool, and it was we ended up stripping it down a little bit, and I ultimately didn't have a place for it, and Shooter had started working with Manson on a couple things, and then gave the lyrics to him, and Manson dug it, and we we connected and been hanging out a little bit, and I think he may do a cover of that song. But I've heard some songs off of his unreleased new record coming out, and I'd love to use at least one of them, maybe more, this season on the show. They're just think it's I'm a Manson fan, as you can imagine. Back to the Dope Show, but I think it's they're just I just find these songs to be quite not as and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. They just feel a lot more personal and raw and less theatrical, if that makes sense. Not that they don't have, not that they're still not who he is, but they're really cool, and the lyrics are sick. So hopefully we'll be able to use one of those this season as well. And that's it. That's the update. And I'm been my usual disconnected, stammering self. So I'm sure you're glad I'm back. I'll talk to you later. I love you like heroin.